Hey, what's happening, guys? Welcome back to Rule of Two Review. Hopefully you had a really fantastic Valentine's Day weekend. Now, I know last time I spent a little bit of time talking about a couple of pieces of news from Ubisoft, and today I'm going to talk about a couple of pieces of news from Microsoft and the Xbox One. So first, we're going to get the big piece of news right out of the way, because this has been a huge hot-button topic on the internet the past couple of days, and you know me, I love my hot-button topics. What we're talking about is Quantum Break, and the recent announcement, confirmation from Microsoft and Phil Spencer, that Quantum Break will no longer be just an Xbox One exclusive, it is also going to be coming to the PC. And this has gotten a lot of people, a lot of gamers, a lot of Xbox fans in a tizzy. This has been a huge deal. I followed this through a lot of other, some other YouTubers and good friends of mine who I know. There was a podcast I was invited on featuring Alex from ActiveSyn Gaming, I believe Nia the Video Game Her, a couple of my really good friends, and maybe even a few other people, I don't know. They had a podcast where they kind of discussed it. I think Coupon Strives was on there too. Didn't get a chance to be on that podcast, but I appreciated being invited. My schedule just didn't work out. But they and a lot of other people are discussing this, everyone from different sides of the fence. Everyone seems to have different sort of views on what's going on here. And what it is that's happening is people are pissed that this game is not completely exclusive to the Xbox One. So, of course, the exclusivity conversation, it's a big deal. A lot of people talk about it. Lots of hellfire storms of doom have come raining down from the video game industry and gamers discussing all sorts of different aspects of exclusive content. You know, Bayonetta 2 was a very huge polarizing one before. Quantum Break is what we're dealing with right now. The fact that this game has been exclusive to Xbox One. Oh, lest we forget, of course, the Tomb Raider temporary exclusive controversy with the Xbox One. And, you know, Quantum Break was... Microsoft has been kind of pumping that as this really big deal. I think it looks freaking fantastic. I mean, the game looks awesome regardless of what platform it was on. If I could play it on my left shoe, I'd still be excited. So the game itself has looked very great. Microsoft has been pumping it up. You can only play this on the Xbox One. And I guess some rumors about it potentially, you know, coming out eventually on the PC started sometime, you know, last fall or so. But nothing was confirmed, and all they really said was, you know, it's an Xbox One game, that's what we're focusing on, and look forward to details soon. So this game has been a big deal, you know, in the console war, in the age where people love to, you know, pick and choose sides, and people will create which fodder they can use to, to protect their coveted console of choice and sling mud at other people's coveted console of choice. You know, exclusive content and something as high profile and badass looking as Quantum Break was what a lot of Xbox One fans, fanboys if you want to use that term, have been using to say, hey, this system's great, look at this, it's another great game that you don't have on your PlayStation 4. Usually the console war today is mostly between Xbox and PlayStation. Nintendo and the Wii U is part of that conversation, but not to the same degree. Most people see the actual war as between PlayStation and Xbox, and in a lot of ways I kind of agree, even though I'm a fan of all, and of course the Wii U is my favorite. But this has been used, you know, to say this is why the Xbox One is going to be great. It's a fantastic looking game. It's not on the PlayStation 4. And then this announcement that, hey, it's actually going to have a PC port has people really pissed. And I see why. So my whole perspective on this is, you know, I'm usually somebody who's pretty open-minded, and I always see both sides to every piece of news, right? I feel pretty good saying that usually I can see one argument side and I can see the other argument side, and I tend to fall in the middle all the time, because whereas I could say it may be really boneheaded for this game not to be kept as an exclusive to the Xbox One, at the end of the day, it's a game that I'm excited to play regardless, like I said, so I'm not going to take it out on the game. And there's also something to be said for, you know, more people getting to play a good game is always a good thing too. So what do I really feel about what's going on? You know, do Xbox One fans have a right to be upset and pissed off that this game is also coming to the PC? Not really. You know, I don't really think that it's that big of a deal, for a couple of reasons. I think the main reason is, I mean, what's happening on PC nowadays is very commonly run and dictated by Microsoft. They run and operate Windows and Windows 10, which is the new operating system for current PCs, current Windows. It's what, you know, there's a version of Windows 10 running on their phones and a version of Windows 10 running on the frickin' Xbox behind me. Like, it's just what they do. So it's a lot of integrated operating systems, and, you know, you could argue that Microsoft sort of is kind of embedded in the PC market as well, because they really became famous and made their money and their fame from being a PC and operating system developing company. That's what they do. So when something comes out on the Xbox and also on the PC, it's not the same as like the Wii U and the 3DS or the PlayStation 4 and the Vita. Don't get me wrong. I know that there is a huge difference between how Microsoft is involved in the PC side and how Nintendo or Sony owned the 3DS or the Vita. Very, very different. But I think it's kind of similar enough. We know that a lot of the Microsoft-related stuff can sometimes is optimized and made to run well on PC. Like, it's like the same company. They make the operating system that most PC games run on, which is Windows. So it's very similar sort of kind of beast there, the way they're happening. The other thing is, some people may not agree with this kind of thing, but I do think that there's a line you can draw between the console gaming market and the PC gaming market, so that when something is specific to a console and then also specific to a PC, I feel like there's enough of a difference there that they don't really impact one or the other. When a game comes out only on a console and only on PC, yes, the PC is an amazingly proficient, prolific, viable market nowadays. It's huge. It's bigger than it's ever been, and that's great. That's awesome. I like my gaming PC for what I like it for. But if a game like this comes out only on one console and then also on the PC, just like how Street Fighter V is only on PlayStation 4, but also on the PC, it's like, well, yes, it's not truly exclusive, and it does kind of divide your market and maybe impact people wanting to pick up your console just to play that game. But at the same time, people may not want to admit it, but I mean, there are people who are very much only console gamers or only PC gamers. There are people like myself, and you may be one of these people too, that doesn't draw that line and maybe will game on anything. But there's a lot of people who don't. So I think that keeping a game exclusive to only one console while also bringing it over to the PC, I don't think it's as damaging or detrimental as if this game was also coming out on the PlayStation 4 and the Wii U. I don't think that it's the same thing. Again, it does absolutely remove the exclusivity from the whole deal. So I can see how somebody says, well, it's no longer exclusive. It was exclusive. It should stay exclusive. And now it's also coming out on the PC. And that's true. It's not exclusive anymore, and it is kind of a boneheaded move on Microsoft's part to a degree, because I think that keeping games like these 100% exclusive, which does include not releasing it on the PC, that's smart business, and it could be much better for the Xbox One to have a game like this only on the PC. It really could be. Or, I'm sorry, only on the Xbox One. It really could be, and it probably should be. In a perfect world, I would say, Microsoft, you should have kept this game an Xbox One exclusive. But the fact that it isn't coming over to the PlayStation and the Wii U, it's only coming to the PC, which Microsoft develops for anyway, it's like, it is what it is. I don't think anyone needs to feel so, crazy offended by this or worried that it's going to impact the game. Just play the game. Like, if you think the game looks great, if you're an Xbox One fan and you're like, man, Quantum Break looks awesome, and now you find out it's also coming out on PC and you're like, oh, fuck that shit. Quantum Break is going to be dumb. I don't want to play Quantum Break now. You got problems. You got huge freaking problems. And unfortunately, I know a lot of people have been reacting that way. And that's everyone's prerogative. I'm going to tell you what to do, but I am going to tell you that you're probably being boneheaded and ignorant for not picking up and playing a game that you otherwise thought looked really good. Like, why would you let something like the release platforms dictate how you think the game is going to be? The game should be a good game regardless. I was already interested in Quantum Break, so I knew I was going to play it no matter what it came out on. Same with the Tomb Raider thing, and same with Bayonetta 2. Whatever platform that came out on, as a fan of the original Bayonetta, I would have played it on. So, and I like it. Games should be exclusive anyway. So when Bayonetta 2 came out only on the Wii U, I was like, great, that's awesome. It's good for the Wii U. And Bloodborne only being on the PlayStation 4, it's great. It's an exclusive. It's good for the PlayStation 4. Same with Quantum Break. Now it splits to the PC, and, I don't want to retread my points, and yes, that kind of splits up the fan base in the market a little bit, but it also enhances it. These companies need to make money. Quantum Break is a brand new, untested IP or game franchise license. It's untested, so you know what? Giving it a little bit of a bump by bringing it to the PC, but not the direct competition of the Xbox One, I think that that's okay. I think that's acceptable. It's also to be expected. I mean, I kind of thought this was going to happen anyway, so in wrapping this up, I know that people want to be angry and pissed, and if you want to, that's up to you, but I swear, don't pass up the game just because it's now coming out also on the PC, a market that rarely impacts the console market. It's so rare that even happens. There's no reason to feel so affronted that I can't believe Microsoft would do this. And now now you don't want to play it. If you were into it before, don't change your opinion just because it's coming to the PC. That is ridiculous, and you're being a bad gamer. Bad gamer. Don't do that. No, not okay. Okay, so the other quick piece of news I'm going to talk about is far happier, and it's less dramatic. And that is the confirmation that Titanfall 2 is on its way. We have it, of course, confirmed that it is going to be multi-platform, so we'll also be releasing on the PlayStation 4, also on the PC. The first one, I think, was PC, Xbox One, and Xbox 360. This one we know is going to be Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and also PC. Maybe it would come out on the NX based on when it launches. Probably not, but you never know. I mean, who knows with frickin' EA, man? They're crazy. So this game is getting a multi-platform release. It's confirmed to be coming. They're focusing a lot on the single-player stuff, which is so goddamn exciting. Titanfall was a really good game. I made a small little Let's Play when I bought the game like a year later. I was very much behind the curve on that one. I didn't play when it launched because I didn't have an Xbox One at the time. So when I finally picked it up from Xbox One a while ago, I made a little video. I loved that game. It didn't capture my attention like I was hoping. As great as it wasn't like how like Halo and Call of Duty, as far as shooters go, how those games will keep me playing for a long, long time. But what they did was still very good, and it was obviously a very, very competent, solid foundation for expanding upon in the future. So the prospect of Titanfall 2, just as a game, is so exciting to me. I cannot wait to see what Respawn Entertainment is going to do with this game, and the fact that they can bring it to multiple consoles might open up the doors for what they can include. Focusing on single-player content, thank you. So smart. Please make it good. Please don't make it this half-assed online-only multiplayer but single-player campaign thing like they tried to do in the first game. That didn't work for me. I think that was a total bungled idea. So I'm hoping that they do something, just make it like how Halo does it, I mean, don't copy the formula exactly, but Halo is a story campaign game first with an excellent, unbelievable, very robust multiplayer mode. And that's the best way to make games like this. That's why Halo is so huge and so popular. Titanfall has this potential. They could probably weave a pretty intricate, interesting yarn of a story and have really good missions and characters and stuff involved. And then, once you're finished with the campaign, then you can hop online and play the online modes for a couple of years until Titanfall 3 comes out. That would be really exciting. So mostly what we've heard about Titanfall 2 has me super pumped. The fact that the game exists is great. The fact that it's going to be multi-platform, I mean, I like the fact that the first one was actually exclusive, but, it's fine that it's branching out because, like I said, it might open up the doors for a couple of other things. More people will get to play it, so that part's fine. And, the fact that there's so much single-player content. I mean, that's the coolest thing. I'm just so pumped for that. But there's another cool kind of spin, sort of cool spin that's happening with Titanfall 2, and that is that there's also potentially going to be a TV show running alongside the release of Titanfall 2. Now, this has been an idea that's been sort of coming in video gaming for a while. There was a game a couple of years ago called Defiance that tried it, where I think it was the Sci-Fi Network. Maybe I'm wrong there. Had like an ongoing TV series they tried for a couple of episodes or a season that was running alongside and coinciding with the events in the story happening in the game. And it was an online world kind of game, and it's a really cool concept. I know that didn't really do all that well. Quantum Break, the game I spent the first couple of minutes talking about, has the same thing, where we know there's some sort of TV show kind of component that is also going to tie into and be weaved within the story happening in Quantum Break. In Titanfall 2, they're also discussing that idea. Now, this is not official. It's just like in like the kind of the discussion pre-production sort of phase. I think they're trying to see if it's viable and feasible and if it makes sense and if there's a way to do it and if they can afford it and how it would actually happen. So I have to say that based on that information and seeing what kind of game and world Titanfall is, I'm willing to bet that the TV show aspect won't happen because the game is confirmed to be happening. The TV show is just an idea that they've kind of brought to the table. I have a feeling it won't come to fruition with this game. It just seems like it would be too expensive and too complicated of an endeavor to make a show like that would be like a Titanfall, and how expensive that would be, and just the world with the huge mechs and the fighting, the explosions and the special effects. I mean, it's possible, maybe it'll happen, but I don't know that there's enough money and success behind the original game for anyone to really want to invest all the money to create that show. When the most notorious precedence for doing this was a failure, that Defiance game where it didn't really work. Quantum Break may change that. Actually, Quantum Break probably will change that. I feel like that is going to work out just fine. With Titanfall, I don't know. Ultimately, I don't really need a game to have this kind of TV show sort of thing happening, but it's an interesting twist on the media to take these two different forms of media and kind of combine them and tell this cohesive story. I would love to see it happen and work out. I would love to see it, come out and actually be good and be like, wow, like the game is great, and also the TV show that happens every week is also great. So I'm really invested in how they're working together, and if the events of the TV show change the events of the game and vice versa, that is a really cool concept. It could be, these could be like the baby steps to the future of game storytelling down the road. But I think they have to perfect it. So we have to see what Quantum Break does. If the Titanfall TV show thing gets off the ground, we have to see how that goes. But it's a noble idea. It's a noble first step. I appreciate the concept. I wouldn't want it to detract from the game, but I'd be willing to bet that they would keep those whole concepts very separate as far as the teams working on them. So the team creating the game isn't hindered by the team creating the show and vice versa. So the game can come out and be the best game it's supposed to be, and the TV show can just do whatever the hell it's supposed to do, and hopefully it comes out and is awesome. So that's what's going on there, Very interesting ideas as far as Quantum Break, pissing off a lot of gamers, Titanfall 2 on its way, but also maybe having a TV show. Who knows how that's all going to play out. But I wanted to discuss these two, little pieces of news about Microsoft. Like I said, I did the Ubisoft version a couple of days ago, which was a lot of fun. And, this is what's going on with the Xbox One and the Quantum Break thing, man. I'm surprised it was such a big deal. Like, I guess maybe I'm not that surprised. I don't know. I just didn't expect it to be that way. I kind of saw the PC thing, and I didn't really think much of it. And then I saw everyone was losing their minds about Quantum Break, and I was like, what is happening? Is this the PC thing? And it was, and people are pissed, man. People just love to be angry. No one wants to be happy. It's gaming, for Christ's sake. Why do people get so pissed, man? It's fun. It's gaming. Video game. It's a game. Have fun. Play it. Have fun. So anyway, those are my thoughts. That's what's going on with the Microsoft stuff. Tell me what you guys think about this stuff below. Quantum Break, are you mad? Are you sad? Are you not? Titanfall 2, yay or nay? What do you think about the TV show aspect? All sorts of these fun things. Share your thoughts about that below. Thanks as always for tuning in, guys. This is Rob of Rule of Two Review, and I'll catch you guys next time on another video.